Alright guys, welcome back. What a day. What a day it is. What a day it is. Alright guys, I need an introduction. Like a an introduction, That's what I need. I need something that I can put before I get in, rather than just clicking the video and it's next thing you know it's I'm gonna turn this up guys, so it's gonna be weird for a sec. And then next thing you know, it's just me talking. Something to work on for sure. You guys, you know what? I want to say this, okay? By the way, I don't know why I have a bald spot up there, okay? Just ignore it. I don't know why I don't know why I wear ties. I don't know why I do it to myself. I don't like ties. I like the look of it, but I don't like wearing them. I don't like it being up in my neck area. I've always been a t-shirt, hoodie guy. So to switch over to this it's been an experience, for sure. So I don't know. I mean, like we'll see how it goes, guys. But I mean, I got a new tie. This is a cool tie, right? So I'm trying to look. I'm looking professional. I'm looking better. It's just a matter of, Sorry guys. I'm sorry. I was rudely interrupted by my computer. Anyways, I'm gonna continue to wear it because when I sit back, it's fine. Even sometimes when I sit forward, but sometimes it just pisses me off. It makes me mad. So, but today we're gonna be doing something a little bit different. Normally, I give myself a bunch of bullet points to keep myself in order because I like to ramble on and on and on. It's just an issue I have. It's a curse and a blessing at the same time. But with that being said, today we're switching it up. I've given myself like minimal bullet points on things I want to get to, and I'm going to just let my brain and my heart do the speaking. So we're gonna see how this goes. It might be longer, it might be shorter. I don't have an answer for you. I'm sure you'll have the answer once because you've already seen the time of the video. But yeah. So I wanted to give that heads up and say that today's going to be a little bit different. So also I've kind of adjusted the camera, so that's been nice. So we'll see. We will see. Anyways, guys. Okay. So really quick before we talk about what we're going to talk about today. How do we feel about Spotify and YouTube? Is there other platforms I should go to? I'm thinking Rumble. I know a lot of big time podcasters and people who go live go on Rumble, and I'm really thinking about it. So I have the account created. I just am yet to plug in all the videos because I want to say, guys, that takes time. That's not something that's just easy to do. The other thing I wanted to talk about was, do I start a different platform? Do I go episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and et cetera, or do I keep it with just the topics? And just like, depending on the topic, the New Year's podcast, or right, like these different types of things, just giving the basics. Should I go like EP, hashtag O1, hashtag, and then O2, O3, on and on and on? Or do I just keep it very simple? Do I do seasons? That's the other question I have. But anyways, guys, okay, so I'm going to get into it, okay? I'm going to get into it. Today, we are talking about a few things, okay? So we're talking about toxic masculinity compared to feminism. Is toxic feminism a thing? Cancel culture. And then are politicians in it for themselves? And when I say that, I mean, are politicians in this career for money, for power, or are they in it for passion, for drive, for goals? Right? It's a good question, and it begs the question because we have a lot of lack of trust in our politicians these days. A lot of trust is lacking in our politicians, and that's across the board. That's unbiased. That's a statement that can be made from both and every side. So we have to consider that as being a question. Should it be a question, right? Is it a good thing to question this? Is it a good thing to not? Is it a situational question, etc., etc.? Okay, so let's get into it. So first off, toxic masculinity. When did toxic masculinity even start? That's my question. When did it even become a thing? Because I mean, I'm watching the show. It's called Mad Men. If you haven't seen it, it's pretty. It's good. It's good. I'm not watching it. I've watched episodes with my parents. It's good though. But you look and you see what society was like in the 50s, at least from the filter they give us. Now, I would say that it's probably somewhat, good, a good comparison, a good idea. But that's also based off of a statement that was created later on, right? It's in the history books, right? And as we dive deeper, we question things. So we could also have the statement of, well, we actually don't know, right? But for the most part, we all had grandparents, and our parents had grandparents, and they knew. No one's stupid. But I guess my question is was it at the level that they portray it at? Like it's every household? Because that's how it felt. Or was it a thing, 1 in 10 households had this issue, 1 in 20, 1 in 5, right? These are all good questions. But anyways, my point I'm getting to is off of the filter of the show, these men were not treating their wives very nicely, their families for that matter, but really highlighting the wives, and it was a big issue. And women abused drugs, horse tranks, opioids, quaaludes, anything and everything they could get their hands on medically, and sometimes behind closed doors or in alleyways. So not as much the alleyways thing, but it's still something that did happen. And the abuse of drugs doesn't come from anywhere, right? It comes from a pinpointed thing. It comes from a certain area. So it begs the question again, that is the response to men nowadays justified enough for the doings and the actions of the men back in the old days, right? But then we have to also reflect that the women who started these big movements from the 50s, when this major abuse through the 70s was happening, even the 80s, this major abuse that was happening, was it justified then? I'm not saying it wasn't. I'm asking you the question. Was it justified then? And is it justified now? Are there still enough men in society to assume all men are bad? To assume all masculinity, all male characteristics, all testosterone-driven actions are bad? That's the question, right? And do the men these days deserve it? Should we be assuming the same as we assumed rebelling from the 70s and the 60s? Right? Am I wrong? So my question I guess is how do we respond to this? Right? How do we respond to toxic masculinity? And what is toxic masculinity for that matter? Society often teaches men that showing emotion makes them weak rather than human. And before I move on, I want to say I'm looking at my screen because I'm pulling statements from other people. So I don't want there to be comments that I'm doing a script, which I think is quite hilarious. So so again, like I said, society often teaches that men showing emotion makes them weak rather than human. And when men show emotion, is this toxic masculinity? Right? Is that why we have to hide our emotions, right? Many men grow up believing their value comes only from dominance, money, or status, which to an extent is true. Men are valued in the woman's eyes based off of what they can what they can bring home, right? And in the primal days, you brought home meat and food, and you cooked the food, and you defended the cave or the home, the household. You died for the household, right? You went out and you fought for the family name, for expansion. Primates, animals breed, right? They go out and they breed with multiple animals. So then that begs the question, because some of you might be out there saying, oh, yeah, the men should be bringing home the stuff. But then it's like, okay, well, based off that logic, in comparison to the primal times, they also need to be mating with multiple women. Well, no. So it begs this question in society that we are very analytical, but we're also, we compare to past times, but then we don't look at the full book, the full picture. The woman and the men sometimes cut out this tiny little hole right here. Yeah, this is right. But then there's this. It's like, well, what about this and this and this? No. That's horrible. It's like, so women get to choose out of it, rip out of a scrapbook. They get to rip out of a magazine now and choose what they want and leave the rest for the fire, for the pits. So, right, like, we got to go back and forth here. Now, am I saying I disagree with the statement that men need to be the ones to supply for the home? No, I'm not. I very much believe that. And I think that that's actually why, we're having a home crisis, a crisis of both parents needing to work, a poor society crisis, a cheating, adultery crisis in society, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All these things fall under single housing income, or a single income for a family, single family income, or dual income, right? Does the mother and father need to work? Are they going to have their separate lives and then every once in a while entangle? Or is the man going to work and the woman who is very much supplied by the man is going to follow him on his path of career, right? Rather than split apart. When you split apart, you create misunderstanding, you create question, and question's not a bad thing, but bad question. You create separation from the children, right? Now the children have to stay in the middle because they can't follow that career path. They can't follow that journey in life as they grow up, right? Because they have two parents going separate ways. These are all questions that beg for answers. I don't have them. I'm asking you, what do you think? Emotional suppression in men frequently turns into anger, isolation, and depression. This is in general. This is a human characteristic. When you silence yourself, when you don't talk about your emotions, to an extent, some emotions are okay to keep to yourself, but emotions that are festering, when you don't talk about them in a healthy manner, it creates anger. It creates isolation. It creates depression. It creates loneliness. You feel like you are battling this thing alone. This goes both ways. This is not just a man or a woman thing. This is a human nature thing. So keep that in mind, okay? So when next time someone's, oh, blah, 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 keep that in mind. Like healthy masculinity is rarely modeled. I'm going to say it again. And I forget where I pulled this one from, but I loved how it was said. Healthy masculinity is rarely modeled. Only extremes are highlighted. So, and what that means, you may be asking, is healthy, good masculinity, the masculinity you want from a man, is never given the props it wants. It's never given the energy or the acknowledgement, because all of the acknowledgement, all of the energy is going towards the extreme, dirty, unhealthy, toxic masculinity. Remember that. You only have so much energy. And when you put it all into men, when you put your focus, ladies, woman, the woman out there, and the young woman, the ladies, the girls, when you put all your focus into what you hate about a man. I hate toxic masculinity. What is toxic masculinity? Well, I hate when they're loud. I hate when they don't let me talk. I hate when they think that I need them. I hate when they cheat. I hate when they don't buy my food. I hate when they don't supply me stuff. I hate when they don't buy me clothes. I hate when they break up with me or when they're not communicating, right? These are all things that we don't like. Maybe you don't like. You just put all of your energy, both of your eyes, towards what you don't like rather than what you like. And your response to the man who has none of those is a love bomb. So you go in, I'm going in. You go in, you fall in love with this man who you actually know nothing about. You just know that he's not toxic. You don't have a sense of that natural pull that we feel through nature, that compelling pull. You just see no toxic. At least that's what you think. Well, it turns out this man is the complete opposite of a man. He doesn't drive you around. He doesn't buy your food. He doesn't have a job. He sits at home and plays video games. He gets in arguments with his family. He does drugs. He drinks. Now, you have two choices as of this point. One is to move on with your life and break up with him. Or two is to decide that, well, he's not toxic, so or he just is high. It's just drinking. It's just abusing drugs all the time. It's not that bad, right? At least he's not cheating on me. At least he's not doing this. At least he's not doing that. Begs the question. Unfortunately, not every human is perfect, ladies and gentlemen. Neither women or men are perfect, never will be. Ever, 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 ever. Not until we meet each other in heaven will we be perfect, and even then, we're let in off of the forgiveness of another man, the payment of death by someone else. So, next time you are trying to look for a woman, do not look for perfect. Do not look for the red flags to make sure they don't have them. Look for the good in people first, and then look for the red flags, right? I was actually going to do a fun little thing, which I'll probably do eventually, but modern day red flags versus back yay. Oh, that's good. Okay, moving forward, okay? Moving forward to cancel culture. Okay, so cancel culture. And before I get into cancel culture, I want to say one more thing about toxic masculinity, okay? Accountability and self-control are often mislabeled as softness. They're often mislabeled as softness. So remove that idea, okay? You ask yourself, why am I single? Why am I this? Why am I that? Including myself. There could be many reasons. Self-reflection, it's reflection on morals, it's reflection on values, it's reflection on partner seeking, it's reflection on faith, reflection on religion, reflection on mission, on purpose. And when I say not on purpose, but purpose, like purpose in life. All of these things. Okay? And then I want to highlight off of that, actually, yeah, before we get into cancel culture, just because I'm kind of I'm doing whatever at this point. I literally have three things. Well, three main things, and I have a few statements that I liked. I literally have nothing. So I'm just stoked because I get to say whatever I want. If I got approval, so. Might be a little risky, but it's okay. Anyways, is feminism. This is going to get really handsy for a sec. Feminism and masculinity, are the same thing. Feminism and masculinity are the same thing. Toxic feminism and toxic masculinity are the same thing. It's all the same. What you view in a man as toxic, the passion, the anger you feel, is no different from how a man feels about your feminism, your toxic traits. It's all the same. I don't know if we've created this idea in feminism as women that feminism's not ugly. Toxic feminism's not ugly. That women are rightful heirs to toxic feminism, maybe? Because women were abused for so long? Neglected? Well, I hate to break it to you. A majority of men are not guilty of these things you say, or these things you generalize within the male society. And I don't care what anyone says about that. Am I saying men are perfect? No. Am I perfect? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect, being a woman or a man. None of us are perfect. It's the respect we have for others, the respect we have for ourselves, the arrogance versus confidence, the faith, the purpose, all of these things I've talked about in the past, coming up to this podcast, they all add up. They all add up. They all do. So, and we question why divorce rates are so high, why men abuse pornographic content so much, why men are depressed and lonely, why women are single or lesbian, why we have such a separation in society, why we did have separation from Christ, why our cultural focuses were not Christ, but even more importantly, why they are now. You look around in society in America, and you see many, 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 many disagreements, hate, cultural segregation, arguments, extremist ideology. All of these things create separation, create lack of relationship between all. And who did this? Politicians. Politicians. All of them. From everywhere. And now they wonder why no one trusts no one. Why no one wants to listen to no one. Why both parties think each party's stupid. Fools. You're fools. You're racists. You're bigots. You're homophobics. You're toxic masculinity people. You're abusers. You're drunks. Oh, you're liberal. You're stupid. You're brainwashed. These are all things in society that we see on a daily basis in the news, on social media, in the newspaper, between conversations in public, conversations in families, the separation of families because of political disagreement. Quite fascinating, huh? Quite fascinating. These are all things. So I'm going to say it again, and I'm going to move forward to cancel culture. Toxic masculinity and vice versa, toxic feminism, are no different. No more, no less justified. It's all bad, it's all annoying, it's all a nuisance, and it is all a demise to society as we know it. When you create movements as your morals, when you replace basic nature morals, basic primitive morals, basic religious morals with movements, you have lost. Go out, spread your wings. Read about different movements, about different ideologies, different beliefs, religions, politics, parties, different global crises, and form an opinion. Have a conversation. Maybe post an Instagram post, tweet about it. Bring some awareness to it. Donate some money. Donate money. Do all these things. But at the end of the day, you come home and you reset. You remove those movements. You remove those issues that you read about in the newspaper from your home life. You remove those issues and you reset back to those morals, those principles that you have believed in for your whole life. Or they've evolved through time and through experience, not through words, not through newspapers. Reset. Okay? Moving forward, cancel culture. I don't want to dig too deep into this because I want to make this a bigger thing later on. But I wanted to highlight it today because I think based off of toxic masculinity and toxic feminism, it is something to be discussed. What is cancel culture? The actions of removing someone or some being or a person's name from society, from the eye of society, because of actions they made in the past, being anytime. Being when they were 14, or being when they were 30, being when they were 50, and now they're 90 years old. Cultural accountability. Cultural accountability. Let's hold people accountable for drinking beer when they were 15, for being addicted to porn, for the statements they made in the past, for saying that bad word, for being a toxic man, for being a toxic woman, for talking to that politician who does this stuff. Hold them accountable. Cultural accountability. Cultural awareness. Moving in the right direction. Uniting people through attacking. Through accountability. Do you hear this? Do you hear this? Do you hear this? I'm asking you. Do you hear what this is? Holding people accountable for things they did 15 years ago. When someone hurts someone, when someone does something bad, and not when I say hurt, I don't mean say a word. I mean when someone lays a hand on someone and gets away with it for 15 years, and then that person finally gets the confidence to come out and say that he beat me in my relationship. Genuinely, truly, down to my heart, am I telling the truth, beat me. Yes, accountability, cultural accountability. Shame on that person. But even then, we need to show forgiveness. I promise you, your cultural accountability does nothing. You making noise, commenting that comment in the comment section, posting that post, AIing a fake video, spreading fake news, it does nothing. It does nothing at all for anyone. Someone might find it entertaining for about 5 seconds. But after that, no one cares. Have forgiveness. Am I saying it's okay to neglect, to beat someone physically? No, I'm not. But I am saying that we need to, as a society, understand that none of us are perfect. And everyone's done something extreme. Maybe not punch someone or beat someone in a relationship, but something extreme in someone else's eyes. You, sitting across from the table, have done something extreme that someone else views as extreme. You prayed in public. Oh, that's extreme. You drank a beer when you were 16? Oh, disgusting. You cheated on your girlfriend in middle school? Oh, disgusting. You disgust me. Do you hear this? I hear it. I'm wondering if you hear it. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. None of us are perfect. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. You've done something extreme, as have I. None of us are perfect. Hold yourself accountable, bring acknowledgement, and society, move forward, move on. Show forgiveness. You're not perfect either. The person behind that phone who's tweeting that angry tweet about, oh, he was drinking when he was 17. There's a video of it. You're not perfect either. I'm sorry. I hate to tell you. Cancel culture is ridiculous. And it is the second demise to society behind feminism and masculinity. Toxic feminism and masculinity. It will end society as we know it. All forgiveness, all understanding, all cooperation between political parties. It will do this. Take it how you want. Take it how you want. Moving forward. Political greed. To summit for the day. Political greed. Whew. Okay. Sorry guys, I got a little heated there with the cancel culture. Okay. But political greed. So what is political greed? What is my definition? It is the action, the greed, the motivation to continue political power or to get into political power for compensation of many things, being money, being rewards, agenda bias. I mean, there's a lot of different things that political greed is involved in, and that I think it does. But we're going to highlight mainly today political greed for compensation of two things. One, money, and two, movement, or in other words, fame. Societal acknowledgement. Okay? Why do I think that this isn't good? Yeah, let me tell you a little something, okay? When politics started, specifically in America, it was treated as if it was military. You went in, you served your time, and you got out. You went back to your farm, you went back to your cattle, to your crops, to your small business over in Boston, or down over in Philadelphia, or over in New York. You served your time in politics, and you got the hell out. You got the hell out because it's not fun. It isn't. Politics is not fun. To the level of professionalism, to the level of being a professional at it. It isn't. It's a life of greed, or not a life of greed, a life of annoyance, a life of constant warfare, a life of bickering, a life of stress, anxiety, depression, a life that steals you away from your family, from the people that love you, spiritually, physically, and mentally. It does all of these things to you. No one wants to be in it forever that's a normal person. So, we have lobbyists for that. People who come in, have good contacts. I got a buddy on my phone. Let me give him a call. Let me see what I can do for you. And these lobbyists are paid very generous amounts of money from money donated to organizations. And these lobbyists come in. Hey, how are you doing? How are you doing, first name, last name? Hey, I'm here. I have a good buddy over at the wonderful this wonderful lobbyist group, and he wants you to vote yes. And if you vote yes, and hey, we're gonna have lunch and talk about it. I'm gonna run you through it. I'm gonna run you through the information. What's the bill about? I'm gonna educate you. I'm not just telling you to vote yes. I'm gonna educate you. And then you are gonna vote yes on it. That's all I ask. And hey, I heard you have that organization over there that is a nonprofit. Or hey, I heard you have that organization for cleaning up your city, for the homeless, for cleaning up crime, standing with crime, right? I'm gonna donate $1 million to it. And then obviously you pay yourself $500,000 out of the organization. This is great. It's a win-win. Hey, and then I will make sure I keep donating to your political campaigns for your rerun elections. I got you. This is what a lobbyist is. What I believe it to be. Some people may say different, but this is what I believe it to be. And hey, if I'm wrong, oh, no one does that. If I'm wrong, feel free to reach out to the link below. Go to the US American website. Go ahead and reach out to me. Let's have a conversation. You have the Get Involved link for a reason. I would love to talk. So, these are all issues. Back to my point. People got into politics to get out. You served in the military, you went into the Army, the Navy, Air Force now, Space Force now, the Marine Corps, Coast Guard, and you went and served for your country. Maybe you did some time in politics. Maybe you didn't. Maybe you just went into politics instead of the military. And then you got out and you were done. I served my community. I represented my people in my community. I'm going to go back to the family business. I'm going to grow it. And I'm going to live a faithful life with good morals, with good conversation and good friends. Have a family, have a wife. Mostly be loyal. Try and be loyal. Have kids and die. So that's what politics was. Now, we have people in office that have been in office for a ridiculous amount of time. Put term limits on. Well, I don't understand this whole thing. I look at some of these people, and I want to name names so bad because I've tried to reach out to these people and have conversations. And they just don't respond because they don't care. They don't care about you. They don't care about me. They may say they do, but they don't. They don't. They care about money, greed, power. Stick it to the man. No, I am the man. I am the man in power. And some of these people, I'm sorry. But you can't be, when you breathe like that, it's time to sit down on your couch and retire. Go live whatever years you have left of your life with family. Why do you want to be here? You don't even, because you want to serve your community? No, because you're paying off debts. That's the truth. And you're going to die doing it. What a shameful life. What a life to live. It's unfortunate. It is. It really is. And you know why? Because these people who've already been in, who us as civilians, as voters, allow them to be in forever, take advantage of it, and continue to rerun and never give anyone else opportunity to represent the communities they live in. How fair is that? You could be 18 right now, 17 in high school. Maybe you're 20 in college. I don't know. Maybe you're 13 in middle school. And you're going to run for senator. You're going to run for senator. But there's a guy that just ran for senator, just got elected at 30 years old. Or maybe you're going to run for Congress. Let's just say congressman. There's a guy who's elected for Congress, 30. So what, you're 13 years old? You can run for Congress I don't know the age on it, but let's just say you want to run for Congress at 35. That guy would only be 45 years old. Realistically, he could still be in office. So you, being young, 35, passionate, just out of a career, or maybe this is your career, want to run for Congress and do your 4 years. I think Congress is 2-year terms. Do 2 terms and serve your community. Get out, get back into the business or start a business with the experience you had before. Go back to the farm. Well, no, you can't. Because we have this wonderful man who's been in office for 15 years. Why would we vote you in? Why would we vote you in? I guess technically 20 years. I got my math messed up, guys. No, right? Because 30, yeah. Anyways, you get my point. Fine, whatever, fine. People are going to correct me on that. That's whatever, okay? No, you can't. We've already had him in office forever. Why would we put you in? Or maybe your just name never gets big enough because these mega parties, these mega politicians have so much money from lobbyists, from nonprofit organizations, from lobby groups, which some lobby groups are good. I'm not hating on lobby groups necessarily, but my point being is they make so much money they can pay for the marketing. They can pay for the ads. They can pay to write the 10 books. They can pay to have their name on every corner. You can only pay for one town or a sign here and there throughout the state or throughout your district. Wow. What a thing. What a thing. What a thing, guys. What a thing. Get out of office. Get out of office. Go do something else, please. Please. And let's put age limits on it for that matter. Term limits and age limits. I guess there's some people who are healthy, but oh my gosh. Maybe we should have harder physicals. Maybe that's what we should have. It would give younger people the advantage. And I don't know if these are already a thing, but let's make these physicals public. You are a property of the people you represent. You are their voice. You're not the voice. You represent them. Oh. What? That's absurd. You represent the people in your district. Your voice isn't your voice. It's other people's voice. It's like when you use a car, right? You buy a car and you use it for 15 years. Well, you get it oil changed, obviously, and then you get just a regular checkup on it and see how it's doing, right? Oh, well, the battery's going to be running low, so it could die soon, right? The heater box, the AC box is struggling, so we need to replace that, right? All things need to function, and you want to be comfortable. Your tires are getting low. Let's pump those up. Those are all things that you need to be told because you need to make decisions for the better half of yourself and your family, as do voters of districts for congressmen. They need to know who's representing them because they need to know if the tire's getting a little flat. They need to know if the AC box, the AC is getting a little bad. They need to know if the battery needs to be replaced, you know? These are all things that matter. And I pray and hope that no one ever has any unfortunate health circumstances. All people. Well, I would not wish that upon anyone. But, unfortunately, we're not immortal. Or we're immortal. You know what I mean. We don't live forever. So our bodies do eventually run out of juice. It's a reality that we face. Is it unfortunate? Yeah. But it's still a reality. Still something to consider. So these are all things. I guess the summary would be, God bless those who go into politics, and God bless us in choosing the right politicians to represent us. Goes both ways. Goes both ways. You guys, I talked about it in an earlier podcast, but these lights are hot. The lights are hot in this room. So if my face is a little red, that's why. It's because I'm hot right now. So just want to point that out, okay? No one judge. But anyways, guys, I don't even know if it is. Maybe it's just me staring at my face too much. We're going to end it here. This was a great podcast. I'm happy we got to do this. And I got to kind of talk about this. Consider these things for yourself, okay? Again, link is live in the bio. Videos are always current. And you can get involved there. You can join communities in WhatsApp. You can have conversations with myself, me personally. And I hope to keep it that way. I hope I don't ever have so many comments. Actually, I guess it'd be a good thing, but I want to always be able to respond to all of them. So with that being said, reach out to me, have a conversation with me, fact check me, tell me I'm wrong, tell me that I should talk about this, give me topics, give me ideas, get involved. All ages. All ages. And yeah, what an awesome day it is. I'm so excited. I'm glad I get to be on here. What a blessing it is for me to have the opportunity to grow a platform and do great things. Great things with you. Okay? Anyways, guys, I'm going to end it here. Thank you for watching. This is awesome. I'm super excited. Thanks for joining me, and I will talk to you guys next time. Big stuff to come. Always feel free to reach out. Follow me on social medias if you haven't already. Subscribe, like, comment, do it all. And have an awesome day, ladies and gentlemen. Bye.